Good afternoon, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I'm going to be coming to you with two puzzles. The first one is a puzzle that is called 4 by Dying Flutchman, 4 exclamation point. And this is a puzzle that was sent to me by Dying Flutchman just after I did the announcement very close to the release of the Polarizing Sudoku Puzzle Pack, where he said that here's a puzzle for you for use in something. And it was kind of a bit late to get into the pack. We were in the final days. We'd locked everything in. We'd sent all the grids off to have the links created and everything. And I said what I would do is I would do a video on it. And he said that it might be a bit easy and would be a very short video. But I'd already been working on another puzzle, which which is called Diamond Dots, which is a puzzle I was working on to demonstrate the parity dots constraint. And then, as you saw a few days ago, probably, Xeon Risk came in with a puzzle, which was the one I used to demonstrate that a few days ago. So what I decided to do is, so that I could bring in the puzzle that I used to demonstrate the parity dots, and you could possibly practice another one, because there's a few of those in the pack, as well as bring the puzzle that Dying Flutchman had given me, just in case it is a bit short. I have no idea. I have not tried to solve it. I thought what I would do is I would do first Dying Flutchman's puzzle, and then I would do parity dots. And you can choose to do one or both, or pick one or whatever. But for people who are wanting to do the Polarizing Sudoku Puzzle Pack, this will be some more bonus puzzles. I'm not going to add them to the pack, but and these can be some practice for you where you can see how some of the logic is supposed to work. So, of course, you'll be able to grab the puzzle pack from links that I will throw above, below, in wherever I can put links. And then I'm going to try and I'm going to demonstrate these puzzles to you, unless I fail, at which point this video will not be seen. So what I'll do now is I'm going to cut over to 4 by Dying Flutchman, and then we will give that one a solve. Okay, here we are with 4 by Dying Flutchman. So this puzzle only has a couple of rules in it. The first one is normal Sudoku rules. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then we have, basically it's the odd even constraint, but we only have even clues, which is in these shaded boxes. Those must be even. With that, this is solvable. Let's give it a shot. It's an odd even puzzle. I'm going to shade. So they are all odd. They are all odd. They are all odd. They are all odd. They are odd. That is odd. I think they're all the odds. Even, 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 and even. They are all even. So, what can I determine from that? I can determine that that is even. And that is even because it sees 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So that is an even cell, which gives us all of the evens. So those are 6 and 8, and that one can't be 6. So that is 8, and that is 6. These are all of the odd cells in the box. I probably could have done this without colouring, but eh. So those are now even, and these are 2 and 6. This is a 9 because 1, 3, 5, 7, which puts 9 in one of those two, but I might be able to do a similar trick down here because I've got 1, 3, 5, 7. That can't be 9, so that has to be even. That gives me all of the evens in the box. These are all odd. This is the 5th odd in the row. That is the 9, and these are both even. I can do the same here. I can, and it's even better. The odd I am missing from this column is 9. I can't put 9 there, there, or there. So that is the 9, which becomes the 5th odd, and those become all even. I need to put a 9 in here. I can't put it there. I can't put it there. I can't put it there. That becomes the 9, which becomes the 5th odd, and they become all even. It's kind of cool. So this is 2 and 8. 4 is in one of those two, of course. Now, 9 has to go here by Sudoku. 9, actually, 9 has to go here by Sudoku. And is that all the 9s? That's all the 9s. So the odd I'm missing from here is 3. The odd I'm missing from here is 1. The odd I'm missing from here is 7. And the odd I'm missing from here is 5. Huh. Well, I do... Okay, those are all odd. I've got all of the 4 evens in here. So those are all odd. Now I've got all of the odds in column 6. So these are even. And those have to be 6 and 8 because the 2 and 4 is there. This is odd, so it's not 4. So this is 4, which makes it even. That can't be... Now I've got all 4 evens in there. That is odd. So one of those is a 2. Row 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the total completeness of odds. It is as odd as that row can be. Row 2 cannot be more odd than that. It may try. You can put on a silly costume or something, but it will not get more odd. So that means 3 is down here and 3 is in... Well, this is a 1-3 pair. So this is a 5-7 pair. Right. And this is now the last odd digit in the box. So this is the 1. So this... I'm not sure. 1 has to be in one of those two. Two can't be in there, so 2 has to be in here. Which means that can't be 2 or 6, so it's 4 or 8. That can't be 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, so that is even. That gives me the total number of evens in the box, so these become odd. Now, box 4 is as odd as it can possibly be. This is 1 or 5 because it sees 3, 7, and 9. This is 7 because it sees all the others. This column is as odd as it can be, and that becomes even. This row is as odd, even as it can be. It needs to be a little bit more odd. This is now, box is now as odd as it can be. It needs to be more even. This row is now as odd as it can be. It needs to be more even. This column is now as even as it can be, so it needs to find itself some more oddness. This row is now as odd as it can be. That's the 3. This is not the 3. This needs to be even. That is 1, 5 to complete the box, and 7 has to go in here somewhere. I could have done it from this box. I could have done it from this column. There are many ways I could have done it. I choose to do it the way I did. 7 goes in there. This has to be 5, so this becomes a 5-7 pair. So this becomes a 1-3 pair. This gives me a 1-3 pair in the column, so this has to be 5 or 7, which is what's left in the column. This is 5-7. So these are 1, 2, 3. These are 1, 2, 3 because everything else is in the column. This can't be 3. What I've missed is this row is as even as... Oh, that's an 8. That's a 6. This is now a 2. This is not a 2. This is 1 or 3. This is the 2. This is odd. This is even. This is now as even as it can be. That is odd. The box can't be more odd, so that becomes even. This is the 8, and now I'm down to doing the Sudoku with what is left. 6 and 8. 2, 4. The way the parity kind of fell apart, but not easily. Very cool. These are 1 and 5, which gives me a 1-5 pair in the row, so this becomes a 7. 7 looks down, making that 5, and that 7, which looks up, making that 5, and that 7. I've now got 1, 3 pairs all over the place, which will get resolved somewhere. These are 1, 3, and 5. That 3 makes that a 1, 5, of course. This is 1 or 3, and it cannot be 1. So this is 3. This is 1. This is 5. This is 1. This is 5. This is 1. This is 5. This is 3. This 1 looks up, making this 3 and this 1, which looks down, making this 3 and this 1. And that is all of the odd digits done. Now I just need to figure out the evens. Okay, best way to do this is 6 is in one of those two, because 6 can't be in those, so that puts 6 in one of those two. These 6s line up putting 6 in one of those two, and I cannot put 6 there because of that 6. That is a 6, which makes that a 2. 4 has to go in one of those two, which puts 4 in one of those two. These 4s now line up, putting 4 in one of those two, which I had kinda anyway. I'm sure it's a simple thing I am missing. Crazy little thing called Sudoku. So these are 2, 4, and 8. That's not 4 or 2, that's an 8, so there you go. That'll do it. This becomes an 8. This is 4 and 6. That is the 4, that is the 6, this is the 2, this is the 4. 6, 8, 2, 4, 2, 8, not there yet. This is an 8 because it has to be for the column. This is a 2 because it has to be for the column. So the 8 makes this 4, this becomes 6. The 2 makes that 8 and that 2. I am missing a 4 from there, an 8 from there. This is 2 and 6, and that 2 right there gives me a lot of information about it. That becomes the 8, that becomes the 6. The 2 looks up, making this 4, and if I put a 2 in there, I think I've completed the puzzle. That did not take me 134 minutes. I keep forgetting to restart the grid. Sorry about that, everyone. It was probably under 10, maybe a little over. It felt very quick, but I was warned by Dying Flutchman it wasn't a hard puzzle, which is why I've lined up a second one. Hopefully that was another nice, easy introduction for the people who gave that one a shot. I hope you did, because I find easy puzzles with like interesting logic, and that one did. Some of the discoveries around that, the way you had to find the parity, I really liked that one. That was fun. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, once again, thank Dying Flutchman for sending the puzzle in. And now I'm going to cut over to Diamond Dots, which is a puzzle I created with some help of the Skunkworks people to finish it off, because it was a little tricky to set, to demonstrate the parity dots constraint. So I'll cut over to that now. Okay, and this is Diamond Dots, which is a puzzle that I set with the help of some members of the Skunkworks. So I was playing around with this idea for probably about a day, and I couldn't quite make it work. And then we did some testing with the same crew we did to do most of the Polarizing Sudoku Pack, and they were able to help me finish it off in a way that I think works. So I'm going to try and run through the puzzle now. One thing I am going to say is the polarity dots constraint is one that we first saw on a small puzzle by Math, I think it was. So thanks to Math for introducing us to this constraint. We've definitely taken the constraint and run with it. The other thing is we are already looking at doing the next pack. So if you're interested in being part of that, reach out. Anyway, onto this puzzle. So this also has normal Sudoku rules, which I've already explained, but I'll explain the different stuff we've got. So we've got these parity dots, which are actually diamonds. And the way they are is any two cells that are separated by a black diamond must have the same parity, parity being odd even. And cells separated by a white diamond must be different parity. So if one is odd, the other must be even, and vice versa. Then we've got Kropki dots in this as well, which makes solving this one a little bit tricky because, boy, when testing this did I get confused a lot. Probably will when solving it too. So, cells separated by a white circle or a white dot will have to be in a 1:2 ratio. Sorry, a black dot. Did I say white? I don't remember anymore. Cells separated by a black dot have to be in a 1:2 ratio, or one has to be double the other. Cells separated by a white dot will be consecutive. Not all dots are given. Definitely not all diamonds are given, or every single cell would have to be separated by a diamond, or every domino would have to have a diamond, because every two cells are going to either be the same or separate parities. So one of the things about the parity dots or the parity diamonds, we're calling them dots even though they're diamonds because things seem to be called dots. It's just the thing. Is that they are always not all given unless you see one on every single border. Anyway, let's give this a shot. Now, while I created this and tested it a lot, I don't remember exactly what happened in the final version because we only gave that a single run through, but I do remember a lot of the breakthrough. So if you study this grid a little bit closely, you will notice one of the standard things about breaking into anything with Kropki is this pattern here. And it's actually a little harder to see than normal because of all of the extra blacks. But when you get a run of 3 ratio dots like this, then you cannot use, well, you can never use 5, 7, or 9 on a ratio dot because they don't have ratios that work. And if you use 3, 6, then in a run of 3 that see each other, then you end up having a repeated 3 or 6. So these have to be from 1, 2, 4, 8. What is going on? I've gone into letter mode for some reason. These are from 1, 2, 4, and 8. And you cannot put 1 or 8 in the middle because then you would have to repeat the 2 or the 4 on the outside. So what you end up with is something like this. But that sets this as an even. And once this is even, all of these have to be even because black diamonds connect the same parity. Now, once you've done that, you've already got 3 evens. So if this was 4, these would be 2 and 8, and you would end up with 5 evens in the box, which is not possible. So this has to be 2. These are not 2 or 8. These are 1 and 4. These, 4 is up here now. So this is 6 and 8. The 4 is up here, and you've got 2, 6, 8. These are odd, and this is 4. All of these become odd, and this must be 3 or 5. And that is the start to the break-in of this puzzle. What we do know down here is this is odd. These must be different, so these become even. On a difference dot, you must always swap parity. So these become odd, because if you've, whatever digit this is, anything that's consecutive to it cannot be the same parity because it just doesn't work. These must be different, so they become even, and we've now got all 4 evens in the row, so they must be odd. The only odd digits that you can put onto a Kropki dot are 1 and 3, because 5, 7, and 9, you don't have valid ratios. 1 on a Kropki dot will always go with 2. 3 on a Kropki dot will always go with 6, which sets those to be even. These must be different to the even. They become odd. Now, the next trick, if I remember correctly, happens in row 7. And what we have here is these are runs of consecutive digits, but we have to put 4 evens in here. So if we were to put an even in the middle, they would both be odd, which would be okay for the row, but then all of these would have to be even, and that would break it. So the odds must go in the middle, the evens must go on the outside in order for you to get the run of digits. Now, there's a couple of ways of moving forward from here. The most obvious is these must be the same parity as the evens below it, and you can lock those in straight away. Now we've got 3 evens in these columns, but we've also got consecutive digits which must contain an odd and an even. So these cells here must all be odd. These cells here must all be odd. This must be the same, so that becomes odd. That must be the same, that becomes odd. We now have 4 odds locked in and 1 odd in there. So these become even. That must be different, so it's odd. That must be the same, so it becomes even. Now there's a few more parity tricks we can do at this point, I think, but I'm trying to remember what they are. That's basically the break-in. I wanted the break-in to be around using crop key logic to set some parity, and then having the parity continue through here using the dots and the crop key restrictions on this. And after this, I'm basically blind solving. Well, not quite. I do know the puzzle. I've solved it a few times, but I don't exactly remember a path. I haven't memorized the exact solution path. Now, these 4 cells, they have to be crop key ratios, but you cannot use 4. So you cannot use 2, 4 or 4, 8. So these have to be 1, 2, and 3, 6. Now, if you look at the digits that are left now, you cannot use 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 5, 7, 8, and 9. But these have to be the same parity. So you cannot put an 8 on there, because if you put an 8 on there, then you would have no other even to put with it. So those become odd, and there must be an 8 on those. Now, if that was even and that was odd, that would be even 6, 7, 8 might be possible. I'm not sure. Now, one thing to look at is definitely this row, because if we look at this, these are runs of digits. And in these runs of digits, you couldn't put 2, 6, for example, because there's nothing between it. So one of these is going to have a 2 in it. And whichever one has a 2 is going to go 2, 3, 4. And whichever one is, that means the other one is going to go 6, 7, 8. So this is a 3, 7 pair. Now, and these are going to go 2, 4, and 6, 8. These are 5, 7, and 9. And these have to be consecutive with 5, 7, or 9. So these are only 4, 6, and 8. So 2 has to go in those. Now that's pencil marking across boxes. But that means 2 here has to go here. So 4 in here, this row, has to go here. So one of them is going to go 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure I've got the same limitation on 6, 7, 8. But this is going to be 1, 5, or 9. Boy, do I not remember this. Oh, well, this is definitely even now. This is even because it has to be 2 of the same, and I've got 4 odds in the box. So this is even. I should have noticed that ages ago. This is odd. Now, this is also 4, 6, or 8. And the important thing to remember about these is while they are the same, they do not need to share a ratio relationship. These are odd because I've got 4 evens in the box. Wow, I am not doing well at my own puzzle. And these are even. So now. Now. 3 has to be in here now because of the fact that it can't be in either of those two. Huh. So that can't be 2. So that's 4, 6, or 8. That's 4, 6, or 8. If that can't be 2. Hang on, that can't be 6. That's 4 or 8. That's 4 or 8. Just because someone creates a puzzle, particularly if they're me, it doesn't mean they know how to solve it. Oh, I did leave it for a few days, and I've forgotten everything. I really do not make myself look clever doing this, do I? 4 has to be in one of those. So 2 has to be in one of these two. So 2 is definitely in one of those two. In the box. And 2 is definitely one of those two in the box. Ah, what have I missed? So that has to be consecutive with that. But that's lots of stuff, isn't it? That, oh. I have 5 odds in this row. So those become even. These become odd. That becomes even, which makes that an 8, which takes 8 out of there. 8 is not in those. This becomes an 8. This becomes a 4. If this is an 8, this is a 4, this is not a 4. So this cannot go 2, 3, 4. So that becomes the 2, that becomes the 3, that becomes the 4. There is no 2 there. This has to be 6 and 8, which means this is the 7. There is a 4 down here now, which there's been for a while. This 3 makes this a 1, which makes this a 2, which makes this a 6, which makes this a 3. Pay attention to your polarity. An important lesson when you are solving a parity pack. No 6 in there, so this is the 6, which makes this the 8, which makes this the 2. So the 4, 8 still could go either way. There's no 1 there. This is 5, 7, or 9. There is no 7 there. This is 1, 5, or 9. Okay, this is not 8. So this is not 9. And this is 4 or 6. This is not 8. So this is odd. This is a 2. Now, what can I get next? What can I get next? This is not 2 now because of the 2 there, which means this is not 1, because this is 1, 2, and 3, 6. This is not 3, so this is not 6. This is not 6, so this is not 3. Oh, the 2 here means this is not 2, so this is not 1. Is there more I can do to eliminate that? Oh, yeah, that 2 means this is 6 and this is 3. That will do more damage. So that is even, that is odd, that is 2, and that is 1. So that is even, and that is odd. The 3 makes that 5, so we've finally resolved that. That takes 5 out of both of those. 3 now has to go into this column somewhere, so it has to go there. And this is 1, 7, or 9. Okay. These are 2 different parities, and I've already got 3 evens, which means that one up there must be odd, which makes it the 1. So this becomes the 4, which makes it even, which makes this 8 and this 4. 8 is not consecutive with 5. 4 is only consecutive with 5, and we end up with 7, 9. 5 has to go in one of those 2, so neither of these are 5. This is a 7, 9 pair. That becomes a 5. I can take the 5 out of there, which I could have got from the box. So slow progress, but progress. 3 goes up here by Sudoku. And 1 has to go in one of those 2, but 1 is not consecutive with 8, so that is a 1. 3 is in one of those 2. Can't make it consecutive with 8. 5 can't go there. 5 is not consecutive with 8, so 5 is in one of those 2. So this is 7 or 9. I can just put that in, which gives me a 7, 9 pair, which makes this a 3, 5 pair. That was possibly... Oh, and there's a 5 looking at it. That's the 3. That's the 5. That is not the 5. That took the place of a 3. So this is also a 7, 9 pair, which has given me a 7, 9 pair in the row. Now, I know this is a 2, 4 because of the fact that I've got all of the evens in the column. Firing on all thrusters. This is a 1, 5, which means this is not a 5. But these are now 6 and 8. Which has given me a 6, 8 across here. So this is 2 or 4. And it's not 4. So this is 2. This is 4. This is 2. So this is 6 or 8 because it sees 2 and 4. The 6, 8 pair makes this 4. 4 is consecutive with 5. So this is not 5, and I now have the 7, 9. This 5 looks back, making this 1 and 5. And I am getting some progress again. Hopefully this is just down to Sudoku now, which means I'm probably doomed. This is 3, 7, or 9, and it's not 3, so we've got a 7, 9 pair here as well. Now, the 4 looks down, making this 6. There's more parity I can do somewhere, I am sure. So that cell right there sees 2, 4, 6, and 8. So that has to be odd. It sees 3, 5. So this is also 1, 7, or 9. There's a 4 in there. There's an 8 in one of those 2. Oh, I've got 5 odds in this column, so both of those are even. Now this sees 2, 4, and 6, so that becomes an 8, that becomes a 6, that becomes an 8, that becomes a 6, that becomes an 8, that becomes a 6. So in here I need to put 2 and 4, and the order is known because of that 2, that is 4, and that is 2. So in here I need to put an 8. In fact, I know what these digits are. They are 3 and 8. And the order is known by that 3. That is 8 and that is 3. This is even, this is odd. Has that narrowed anything down? Well, it's made that the 8, so that is even. This now has to be odd because it has to be different. I now have all 5 odds. This becomes even. So this has to be 6 because of the box. So this now has to be the 4 because I've got everything else in the row. This is not the 4 and becomes odd, and I have finally completed the colouring. 7 and 9, which is all good. This is just down to Sudoku. Yay. So this is 3, 7, and 9, and that one can't be 3. So this is the 3. So this is 1, 7, and 9, and it can't be 1. So I've got the 7, 9 pair. This becomes the 1. This becomes the 9. This becomes the 1. This is not the 1. 7, 9 pair makes that 1. These are 5, 7, and 9. Okay. These are 5, 7, and 9. Okay. 7, 9, which means these are 1 and 5, and that is the 5, and that is the 1. It takes 5 out of there. Don't put 4 in, just take 5 out. Is there a consecutive trick I'm missing somewhere? Hopefully. What did I break? That 7 is looking up. That's 9. That's 7. That's 7. That's 9. That looks down, making that 9, and that 7. That making that 7, and that 9, and that 7, and that 9, and that 7, and that 9, and that 7. 7 looks down, meaning that's not 7. Actually, that 7 means that neither of those are 7. These are 5 and 9. 7 has to go in here, but it can't go there. So this is the 7, this is the 9, this is 3 and 5, but because of that 5, we know the order, 3 and 5, which looks down, making that 9, and I can put in a 5, and that completes diamond dots. That was designed to be a little bit more tricky and to cause people to need to do some investigation. I didn't expect to stumble on it so much after only, I think it was 3 days ago that I created it. But there you go. Not all puzzles stay in my brain. Not any puzzles stay in my brain. I hope you gave that one a try, and I hope if you did get stuck that my solve was able to get you through it. I hope you enjoy the constraint and that it causes you to want to sort of push through and explore the Polarizing Sudoku Puzzle Pack a little more. Yeah, and as I said, if you are struggling with any of the puzzles, jump onto the Sudoku Solvers Discord and jump into the BremSter discussion channel and ask for some help. Some of the puzzles in the pack I really, really struggle with or can't do without help, as demonstrated here. So yeah, feel free to jump on. There are lots of amazing solvers there who will be able to provide you with some assistance, even if we can't do it immediately. And yeah, feel free to just reach out and talk to us about what we're planning next, because we are always looking for solvers and setters to help us with what our next plans are. So if you're interested, please reach out. Apart from that, all I can say is I really do hope you enjoy the puzzles and give them a shot. I hope when I do have puzzles that are suggested to me that they're going to be very short, you like the double puzzle format. Please feel free to provide feedback on that as well. And as always, good luck with your solving.